Hi, everyone, and welcome to the Great Awakening podcast. I'm your host, Giselebrun, and today's very special guest is a friend of mine. Her name is Charlene Day. She's a lifestyle and leadership coach, and she's going to share her story with us today. So, welcome, Charlene.
Oh, glad to be here. So glad that you've arranged this. It's wonderful.
It's so nice to have you and to see you again. You've been really, really busy lately.
Yes.
Um, I would really love for the audience to actually get to know you better. If you would be so kind as to share your story and how you got to become a lifestyle leadership coach, that'd be great.
Well, I guess it started in the early days, about more than 50 years ago, when I read a book, and that book basically had me look at my health and change me into a vegetarian back then. And I then just began to explore so many avenues because, of course, health is huge. And
Yes.
so I explored so many avenues in the health arena and became a functional nutritionist in that process. And also studied pre-med as well. I mean, I did a lot of study and really mostly because at one point when I started this journey, I went on a weekend, and that weekend was to be getting healthy. And I went with the diet of, it's not a healthy diet, we're going to say. And he put us on fruits and vegetables for the weekend. Well,
Mhm.
I got deathly ill because my body went from acidic to alkaline like in
Mm.
like less than 24 hours, and my
Ooh,
body went, can't do this.
yeah.
Anyway, bottom line was he took me under his wing, and after the whole weekend, he stayed, like, worked with me and put me on a cleanse.
Mm.
Well, by day 5 of that cleanse, I felt euphoric,
Wow.
and I went, I got to let other people know that this kind of health is possible. And so that's what started the whole, you know, searching and studying and becoming a functional nutritionist. And so that's sort of how my whole story started, was getting sick and realizing that, okay, if you make some major changes, you can be euphorically healthy. so
Absolutely.
so I just kept on exploring and seeing what else was out there. And because we're physical, mental, emotional, and spiritual beings, I started studying all of those aspects of self, and for me, and then to help others. And so I've got a lot of different, what they call feathers in your cap, with all the different courses that I've taken to help you, the person that needs help, that anybody that is, well, I see people from everything from stomach problems to headaches to right through to cancer. So I deal with all of that, and have been doing that now for 5 decades.
Wow,
So it's
congratulations.
been
That's
quite a journey.
phenomenal. Yes, absolutely. But you know what? The most important part is that you're still helping people and your services are still sought out. It's wonderful, absolutely wonderful. And aside from leadership coaching and the healing, is there anything else that you do in your feather of hats, if you will, that you want to share with the audience as well?
Well, I just finished a program where I became a certified hypnotherapist.
Oh,
So,
congratulations.
and that utilizes a lot of my NLP training as well, which I had done previously. And
Excellent.
so it really brought those things together. And so if people need to really work with their mind, I can go deep because I can access their subconscious mind.
Awesome.
So that is a great tool for
Yes.
me and to help you. So I'm really happy about that particular training because it really is a great access, because the subconscious mind is where we hold our stuff, and that's where we need to tackle the that we got with as kids that don't no
Uh-huh.
longer serve us anymore, and it's time to let them go.
Yeah, it's time to reprogram the brain and deconstruct the old paradigm, right?
Yes. Yeah,
And that's where hypnotherapy can be of huge
absolutely.
service to us, and help us through these challenging times. Speaking of which, during these challenging times that we're faced, are also great times, because what lies beyond is like beautiful. But during these really, really challenging times, do you have any advice for the audience, like how, maybe what they could do more of, or what they could even do less of, that may help them, navigate?
Well, to me, the biggest thing now, I have to just give a little caveat that I am an extrovert, but I am going to suggest that you see people in person. That is
Yeah,
what I'm going to suggest, because for the longest time we were locked up and we couldn't see people in person.
yeah,
And I think that's so crucial for growth and for healing,
hmm,
and I'm going to highly encourage that, even if you are an introvert, get out there and see people.
yes,
Just even if it's one on one or parties, whatever, but see people in person. I think that is so important these days,
yes,
and highly, highly recommend it, because I think it's really healing when you
yeah,
actually can hug somebody, you
yes,
actually can physically hug them. And that's going to be like, we give, at some of the places I go to, we give oxytocin hugs, which
yeah,
means they last about 2 minutes
mm,
where we're hugging, right?
hmm,
And that's just going to release all sorts of oxytocin into our
hmm,
both of our bodies, and we go away really wonderfully fed after that. So
absolutely.
you can't do that when you're alone. So I highly recommend getting out there. So,
That's awesome. No, I agree with you completely. Hugs are so much a part of, creating a complete energy field of euphoria, for the lack of a better word, right? You're just
yeah,
taking it from
yeah,
your feather in your cap,
yeah.
right? But it's very true that hugs are really important, and in some ways, that's why we have to get back into the population, if you will, and we have to unify and have fun. I mean, it's summer here in this part of the world, and well, getting close to it. And it's time to gather and get together and unify once again, for sure. There's so much going on. So yeah,
Well,
get out there.
you mentioned fun in there as well, and I
Yeah.
do parties on a regular basis, because that, I think, well, for me that's fun, and
Yeah.
everybody that comes has fun. Oh, and the other thing I do for fun is I play euchre.
Oh, I used to play euchre. I haven't done that in years, but I do play cards with one of my friends once in a while when we get together. Yeah, we enjoy that. Yeah.
Well, I
Interesting.
love the exchange with your partner, and to see if you can develop your intuition
Yeah,
and that kind of thing. And it's just fun just to have the two parties working to, like, one group is working against the other group, but we then have to see where our intuition goes, and
yeah.
I love it.
Oh, it's awesome.
A lot of
No,
fun.
yeah, you have to have fun. And I think that's where we're finally starting to get back to those things, is, get back to nature, get back to um, parties, and go out dancing, and whatever it is that you used to love to do. It's time to
Yep.
get back to those imaginative things, using our imagination, being creative because we are creative beings.
Yeah, well, that's where I'm going tonight, dancing.
Ooh, that sounds like fun.
It is Latin night, my favorite. So
Oh, wonderful. It's too bad it's a little far. I'd join you.
yeah, it's actually the other side of the city from where you are. Totally
Oh,
the
yeah,
other side.
yeah,
So
yeah. That's
yeah,
okay. One day you never know. We might have hover cars come back in, and
that's
then
right.
I can just go there in like 30 minutes and hang out with you.
Yeah.
Looking forward to that time for sure.
Uh,
Oh my goodness. It's awesome that so you do live events then, and aside from parties and stuff like that, what kind of events do you put together with your coordinators?
well, I am the next one is actually going to be on live blood cell analysis. So
Excellent.
I do again because I'm more into health.
Yes.
We do a lot on health, but health can be again physical, mental, emotional, or spiritual.
Yes.
So anything in that realm is what I usually uh, aim towards. I mean,
Right.
another time we had electroculture speaker, and that showed I actually have the copper out in my gardens now to
Oh,
pull
yay.
the electricity down into my plants. And that was quite amazing,
Yeah.
having that person talk about that. And so we have a whole variety of things that we do when we get together,
Hmm.
but generally speaking, it's around health.
That sounds really interesting, actually. I'll definitely put all of your information, in the description below so that people can access that as well as, get in contact and in touch with you if that resonates with them. But what else did you want to share today about what you offer in terms of your work and how people can connect with you in different ways because you have such a wealth of knowledge and wisdom within you to impart to this world. It's just phenomenal. And you know, what else would you like to share with the audience
Well,
so
I've
that they
got two freebies. One
cool,
is a free health assessment that you
right?
just are going to email me to get.
Hmm.
And the other one is one that I've just been finishing off. It's a 7-day preview of the 30 laws of flow, but you get
Nice.
seven of them to try out. And
Okay.
in one of them, you actually hear the auditory meditation as well. So you
Mhm.
get an idea of what that would sound like if you wanted to get that, all 30 of them.
Okay.
And so that's a preview so that I'm giving away for free right now. So
Awesome. That's
yeah.
awesome.
So I guess best way is to email me to get that information about how to get into those, get both either freebie.
Right. That
So
sounds fantastic. Charlene, we're going through such epic times as we, previously had said, and there's a lot of things that are happening, in the unseen world, and everything's coming up to be healed. But during this wonderful time of the Great Awakening, what would you say, like, how would you, for yourself, what does it mean to you, the Great Awakening, and how can people navigate it going forward? What would you recommend?
well, to me, the Great Awakening is the reminder to go back inside. Our answers are coming down and into us, and we have forgotten that. And as a result, we're looking everywhere out there for answers, and the answers are actually in here. And so it's important for me, the Great Awakening is to remind us come back inside and
Mhm.
start listening, which means meditating, maybe journaling, walking in nature, like getting back inside so that we get the answers that are there, which we ignore because we're so out there
Yeah,
instead of back here. And I say this for myself as well. We all need this reminder. So,
absolutely.
so it's a great way to reset, to come
Mhm.
back. And I think that's what this is all about, is to remind us. Doesn't always look that way, but it is a reminder to come back inside.
Mhm. Yeah, that's great advice because it's so true. We've been, conditioned. We've never been taught to go within, so we don't know until we do know, right? I love that quote by Robert Kennedy. You don't know what you don't know until you know.
All right.
I just and I think once we start, that journey within ourselves, we discover things that we didn't even know were even possible, let alone, um, you know, brought about, and it can be quite amazing when you find out things about yourself that you were limited, but your absolutely unlimited potential is there, and it's just waiting for us, right, to burst forward and do something with it. And
And I
it
guess there's one more thing. I remember Greg Braden said we need 18,000 people. That's it.
yes,
18,000 people to all think simultaneously the same thing, and we
yes,
can create a new world.
he's right. He's
But we all
absolutely
need to
right.
work together and focus on the positive, what we want, rather than what
Yeah.
we don't want.
Exactly, because everything comes back to us. We just the law of attraction. It's the universal laws are there, and we're not taught that either. But yeah, Greg Braden and Dr. Lipton, amazing, amazing gentlemen who've been on the journey for a long, long time, and they have a lot of wisdom to impart to us as well. And I love them both. They're phenomenal.
They are.
That's for sure. But you know what? So are you, Charlene. You're phenomenal. You've been, you've been here. You've helped so many thousands of people worldwide, I'm sure. You're
Mhm.
also an author, if I'm not mistaken. You've written a couple books, haven't you?
Oh yes,
Can
yes.
you
I
show
guess
the audience? Do you have them with you?
I'll pull out my books. Okay.
Yes. Yes. The 30 Laws of Flow and awesome. The Immune System Handbook. Love it. Love it. Love it. Thank you so much for sharing those. And we need we'll put that information in the link as well where they can purchase them if they want to. But
I
it's,
have other books as well that I've co-authored or have
yeah.
been, doing it with other people, but these
Mhm.
ones are just totally me. So,
Yes, we definitely want
yes,
that.
yes.
Definitely. And if you want to share the links to the other co-authoring that you may think would be good for the audience, and then by all means, we'll put them there as well in the description so that people can access that information. That's
Okay,
wonderful.
great.
Yeah, I'm so glad that you came on the show today, Charlene. Thank you so much for joining us. And perhaps we can have you back again at a later date to share more of your wisdom and knowledge on certain topics, perhaps.
Okay, great.
Yeah. Well, thanks again for coming on our show. And I wish everyone a beautiful afternoon or evening wherever you are. And thanks for coming, Charlene.
Yes.
Thanks.
Thank you for having me.
Thank you. Bye, everyone.